Hi guys, so I'm coming on to cut the soap because a lot of people had asked for it yesterday. I wasn't going to, but you know, there's a bunch of you that wanted me to, so I figured I would. And at the same time, you guys are going to get to see how I mold everything. So these molds here have just like a little pin on each end, so you just unscrew the pin and you pull it out. And I use a parchment paper inside. You don't have to, but I just find it's a lot easier to slip the actual soap out without having to kind of fiddle with it. Plus, because I'm a little bit impatient and I never let it go the full 24 hours, sometimes it's still a little bit sticky and it sticks onto the mold. You can use sodium lactate in there, and it helps to unmold everything. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. A lot of the times I just forget to put it in, so to eliminate that I just use the little paper. So basically the whole mold just comes apart that way. So it's still a little bit of fiddling, but you just yank the sides out. And a knife, because sometimes it's not that it sticks, it's just still hard to kind of come apart. So that's the sides there. I hope you guys can see everything. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it is pretty early. Well, it's not that early. It's 9:30 about. I'm just trying to pry. So the sides here are what I didn't put the paper on. You just want to, there we go. And just sticking your knife in stuff is going to, you know, this just helps to alleviate all of the pressure, because that's all it is. It's just pressure that's been created and you're trying to do that. Oh, and I just have to slide it over here for a second. There we go. So if you do, like I said, because the soap is softer, if you do create any like kind of bumps and stuff on it, all you have to do is with your knife kind of just smooth it out, or wait the full 24 hours. But I just kind of go like this. Plus the ends I always cut off anyways. But yeah, so that's all I do. And then you can just kind of pull the sides of the paper down like that. And then the soap is just going to pop right out. So because of the piping like kind of overlaps onto the mold, I just like to pass my knife onto the side and clean anything up. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. It just makes it easier even to handle, because then those pieces are going to get like all dinged up anyways. So I just like to kind of cut them off. Or pipe inside of that and don't let the piping come out off the sides, and then you would eliminate that completely. So I'll just do that on this side here. There we go. And now hopefully I can just I don't know how well you guys are able to see right now. So again, it's just pressure that you're trying to kind of pop off. There we go. So you just have to slide the paper off from the bottom. Now, I don't use freezer paper. I just use wax paper. And so the freezer paper doesn't, how am I going to say this? It doesn't like take the, I guess, the moisture of everything into it. The parchment paper does, so it ends up kind of creating like a skin. It turns see-through like this. Sorry, it turns see-through like this, and so yeah, it creates a skin. So sometimes you have to kind of play with it a little bit, and sometimes there's little pieces that are gonna stick. So you are better off to use like a freezer paper, and it won't do that. But I don't. I find sometimes it can be expensive to buy freezer paper. So when it goes on sale, I'll pick some up, and if it's not on sale and I run out, I just use parchment paper. It does the same thing, it's just sometimes you get like little pieces in the back there. So let's flip this. There we go. And I'm going to bring my cutter. Okay, so let's make sure I'm in view. Hi, Tiffany. I know it's kind of early for some people to be watching, but you know. So, like I said, I have like a little notch that's in my, you guys can't really see it, but it's a little notch there, and that's to let me know exactly, let's see if I can show you guys, it just shows me exactly where I need to cut, like how big my bars are. So my first initial cut, I'm just cutting the end off because I don't want that end. So that's going to be the first cut. So I'm just going to stand so that I'm not completely in front of you guys. So I'm not cutting a full bar. I'm literally just trying to cut like a sliver. Now it does move because of the pressure again from the wire. So I just kind of hold everything in place as best as I can. It still does move a little bit, but you know, it's still better than cutting anything by hand. So I just pull my little cutter, and there's the first slice. Ooh. You guys are seeing everything for the first time just like I do. So now is when I can move everything over up to my little line there. And like I used to have a line that came here and there so that I could align both sides, because sometimes you get crooked too. So it's nice to keep both sides together. Okay. And nice and slow, you don't have to go fast, you don't have to, you know, and I don't know why everything's moving so much. Maybe because I do have to sit. Different kind of pressure. There. And there's the swirl. So it's a super nice swirl. So that's the drop swirl. And see what I mean? I guess you guys could see this a little bit. See that those little lines kind of thing? Those are glycerin rivers. And so that's from mixing the white, like a titanium dioxide, into that dark, it was a purple like this, and I wanted to lighten it. So that's what happens. It doesn't really bother me. A lot of people don't even really see it. They have no idea. You know, like a non-soaper isn't going to know, oh, why, you know, why is that like that? Or they're not going to know. So it's not a big deal. Of course, we don't want that, and we would prefer to avoid it, but it happens, and it's just, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to move this over again. Make sure you guys can see. Okay, it normally doesn't take me this long. I can go pretty quickly, but I'm trying to show you guys. So the high tops, you're gonna have to be careful if you're using something like this, that it doesn't, it's not too high, or your the thing won't go over it, right? You'll have to turn it on its side, and then it never really makes a nice cut when it's on its side. So there's the next one. I mean, I don't mind them either, Amy. I don't mind the glycerin rivers. I never really worry about them. It is what it is kind of thing. You're starting to see that mica line too. The next cut I'll show you guys. So when you're measuring out your little line on your board, see like this, I'll have to move her over again. When you're measuring out your little line, you want to take into consideration curing, and so your soap is going to shrink. I just want to take 2 seconds and show you guys that little gold mica lines. Do you see it? I love it. I love mica lines. I'm like obsessed with mica lines right now. Every single soap has it right now. Thanks, Shelby. It was it's a lemon lavender soap, and I think that it's a perfect fit. The top has some mica with rubbing alcohol just dripped on the top a little bit. And so it's a really fresh, summery, scented soap. I did them in the smaller bars, and they sold really well, and I decided that I was going to make them in the larger bars. Okay. It's just fitting, so let's try and push this back. See, so that's the only thing is, yeah, you do have to play around with this type of cutter, but it's still way cheaper. Oops, there we go. And then that mica line too. Really like it. So my little dinner yesterday, for those of you who didn't know, I put together a group chat with local soap vendors from my area, and we got together and had dinner. We were 4 altogether. There's 2 that could not make it. So yeah, we got together last night for dinner at a local restaurant, a locally owned restaurant, and it was so much fun. I have never laughed so much with a group of girls in my entire life. And I mean, these ladies, I don't personally know them. I know them from working in craft shows together and stuff, but I don't know their personal lives. And now I do. I know what they do. I know if they've got a full-time job. I know if they've got kids. I know, I know so much more about them, and it just makes it so much more fun to now, if I see them, at craft shows, I'll be able to say, how was work this week and all that kind of stuff. So it was so much fun, and I really hope that you guys can do it too in your area. It was great. It really was. While I was there, one of the girls who doesn't make bath bombs, as she was sitting down, said, "Oh my God, Sophie, do you have bath bombs? Blah 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 blah. There's a girl that is looking for 14 of them." And I said, "Yep." So I just made $70 last night because she didn't want to make bath bombs. Plus, she bought a bath bomb press, and it's coming in today. And she said that I could use it, so that's awesome too. So it's just that fun, interactive. And my son has his truck and he's rubbing it on my leg right now. So the last slice, and like I said, I just sliced the butts off. So that's that. Pretty good, some pretty good swirls inside there. And that nice little mica line on top. It does look paisley, eh, Brittany? It's it's a really nice fun, it's a drop swirl, so I didn't stick anything to mix anything up or anything like that. And so I'm going to clean them all up after. I let them kind of dry for half a day. Not that they're good. It's just I like to just let the outsides dry a little bit before I go and start cleaning them up. But yeah, so the tops are beautiful. They're super awesome. So like I said, I just bevel and clean off the fronts, but you know what? I let it dry enough that the fronts are completely smooth, so I'll just have to bevel the edges, maybe a few of them. See, that's what I meant last night, or not last night, yesterday afternoon, how it makes like little circles like that. So that's what I like to clean off. But yeah, so that's it, girls. And boys, I don't know if some of the boys are here, but yeah, that's about it. If you guys do want to see, I had showed you guys the natural bath bombs yesterday. Those are the bath bombs. I have 3 left after selling them to the lady. She's coming to pick them up today, so I have to make more for the show this weekend. So if you guys want to see that being made, I can do like the oatmeal milk and honey, or the floral one, or anything like that. You guys can let me know down below. If you guys want to see any of those bath bombs being made this afternoon. So comment below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.